Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulaiman Rahim here, Master of the Covenant, breaker of the 7 seals. Sisters and brothers, who will be able to stand? Who will be able to stand? See, Elijah was the template. See, there was to set the example for us still in the womb, developing. See, he was like the egg. The egg prepares you for life outside the womb. It was like the egg. See, because Elijah, he set the standard. See, he was to prepare the way for Suleiman. See, so they didn't know what to expect. So they got the lessons from Master Muhammad. So because in the womb, you can develop in all kinds of ways. We see that because we see some babies come deformed, extra leg. I mean, you'd be surprised if you knew how some babies come out of that womb. So you have your DNA that helps you develop, but you need the egg. And the egg gives you information about what life is outside the womb is. So you can prepare for that life outside the womb, because that's what you have to be in sync with. You have to be in sync with the way the life is outside the womb, because that's what you're preparing for, that you're growing for. You understand? Because if you're not, then you're going to be stillborn, or you will not survive outside the womb very long. You have to understand these concepts. And all mathematically, it makes sense. See? Because the egg is not living, but it's living material. See, and it's the mother's, the nature, and it's her experience all wrapped up in there. And that sperm takes that information and use that information to figure out, how to develop, prepare itself for life outside the womb. See? And that's what the Nation of Islam was like, the egg. I'm not saying what's the egg, but it was like the egg to prepare, understand, the example, prepare, right? Because they were the Levites, prepare the Shabazz tribe for life outside the womb, because they're a priest tribe. That was their purpose, which they did not do. See, they failed, and they allowed the demons to come in, right, and distort. See, so therefore a lot of people come forth deformed and stillborn. See, and I'm not just using it as an analogy. That's the way it happened. That's where it's happening. But under Elijah Muhammad, as long as he was here, therefore I was feared. See, the thing is, they reflect, when you saw FOI, they reflected Elijah Muhammad. There was no punk FOI. There was no lazy FOI. Elijah Muhammad made demands, and you being FOI, you had to fulfill those demands. See, he pushed his people. I'm not going to push people. See, I'm different. See, because I'm trying to raise gods. But Elijah Muhammad had to set the example. So he pushed people. But what happens when you stop pushing people, they stop moving. See, because they had to be pushed. You have to push them to get them to move. Then that means when you stop pushing, they stop moving. That's the problem with pushing people. I'm not going to push anyone. See, in fact, I'm totally comfortable with going alone. But see, me going alone, see, that's one thing. See, me going alone because I'm doing my job. I'm on my post. But our people are suffering by me going alone. Because it says the harvest was many, but the workers were few. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that need this information, but there's no one out there to give it to them. See? And I'm not going to have anybody around me giving bad information or sorry information. See, because you could transfer information in many ways. Your example is the best form of communication. Your example is the best form of communication. Your example is the best form of communication. Because people are going to look at you. If you walk around talking about, man, you shouldn't be eating pork, and you got a pork sandwich in your mouth. I mean, what the hell? How does that, would that make sense? Your message is already destroyed. Your message is already destroyed. Because your example, you tell them to do something that you're not doing. So when you saw FOI, you saw Elijah Muhammad. And when you use FOI, to be an FOI, to qualify for an FOI, to wear that uniform, you had to sell 300 papers a week, every week, without fail. Not for breakfast, not for Thanksgiving, not for Christmas, not for birthdays, not for snowstorms, bad weather. Didn't care. 300 papers a week, and you had to buy those papers up in advance. 300. And you sell 300 every week, not $2.99. 300 papers every week that qualifies as an FOI. If you failed, you was thrown out of there. Period. No questions. Nobody cared about your feelings. Oh man, I got a baby on the way. That nobody gave a damn about that. That's for the brothers. I ain't talking about the sisters. Elijah Muhammad did not pimp sisters. See, sisters can do what they want to do. See. But that's what and that was just the beginning. See, that was just the base. That was just the base. You understand? See, that was just the basic, about, minimum, 300 papers a week. Not mentioning the security and all other things that you was required to do. Think about that. You still had to do your work, your job, and all other things, to take care of your family and stuff, right? So just think about that. 300 papers a week. And then, we sold fish. Mm-hmm. We had paper drills, like, the lieutenant say, let's get together. We all go out and sell papers together. He might call one, go door to door. Mm-hmm. And that was just the basic. You might have search duty, security duty. Excuse me. All kinds of things we was required to do to be an FOI. And if you failed, and they had no slack talk, because if you talk slack talk, you was out of there. Oh man, I just too hard. Hey, brother, report you. And brother told me, it's too hard. Okay, well, get the hell out of here. Nobody argue with you. Oh, brother, you said it's too hard. Can we? No, hell no. You said it's too hard, brother. Get the hell out of here. Period. Nobody gave a damn about your feelings. It was a war. Even like Muhammad's time, he was at war with these devils. And FY presented that, and they represented that. And people knew Elijah Muhammad was serious. And they knew not to mess with FOI, and they definitely knew not to mess with the MGT, the sisters, if they wanted to keep breathing. That's the image. See, that was Elijah Muhammad's image. And he made sure that people that was around him reflected that. If you was FY, you had to reflect that image. Because when you look at FY, you were looking at him. Because remember, the tree, the fruit, is bear witness to the tree. And the fruit is bad, the tree must be bad. So he didn't allow any bad fruit. See, that's what I call the fruit of Islam. He didn't allow bad fruit. If you was a liar or a thief or a cheat, or you would do all things other than what you're supposed to be doing under FOI codes and laws and regulations, you was out of there, period. Nobody argue with you. You just out there, jack your ass up and get your head, throw your ass out on the streets. Get the hell out of here. You better not put that uniform on. And that was Elijah. And now we still at war, but now war is intensified. It's not a war in America anymore. It's a war with the whole world. It says Suleiman would have to take on the whole world. And it said he would be a lone warrior. Because who would stand with him? They keep asking that question. Let me show you. See here? This is 6 seal. Look at the bottom here. Because came the day, the great wrath of him, who is able to stand? They keep asking that question. Who is able to stand? Who's able to stand with him? Who's able to stand? You can read this 6 seal. You can read the whole thing. I'm just giving you some highlights here. And here, this is the measure of the covenant. See, one talking about the lamb. Now he's talking about the measure of the covenant. It says, look what it says here. And who can stand when he appears? They keep asking that question because nobody could. Yeah, a lot of pretenders, but nobody could. That's why they keep asking the question. Who can stand? That's why he would sit here and walk, and he'd walk the I forget what they call it, alone. He'd tread the I forget what they call it, alone. The wine press. He would tread the wine press. That's war. He was a lone warrior. He would tread the wine press alone, because you got the wine press means you because oftentimes the way they produce wine is they have the 8 grapes in a big container of something, and people are walking on the grapes to squeeze the juice out of them. That's the beginning process of wine. I'm pretty sure they probably not do that nowadays, but they might. For expensive wines, they still make. But that's what it means. So he would tread the wine press alone. He was the only one out there doing it. Because came the great day of the wrath of him who is able to stand. See, here it is. And they are saying to the mountains and to the rock mountains, fall you upon us, hide you us from the face of the sitting upon the throne. That's Master Muhammad. He's sitting upon the throne. And from the wrath of the Lamb. That's Suleiman. We're not effing around, brothers and sisters. See, so you can't come out here talking about you at war when you're out there picnicking and taking selfies. You ain't at war. I don't know what you are, but you ain't at war, and you ain't a warrior. So we ain't effing around here no more. I haven't been effing around the whole 30 years. See, but I get mixed up with people, and they get things they get a misunderstanding of me and this message. And that's part of my problem, my fault. You understand? Because they said he would come on like a lamb, right? But he would transform into a lion, and all they saw was the lamb part. See. But when they saw the lion part, they said, "Oh, wait a minute, what's going on?" See, they couldn't handle the lion part. They couldn't handle the lion part. See, because all they saw was the lamb part. See, but the lion was the real Suleiman lion. That's the lamb. Right? But he said would come on as a lion. He started to come out as a lamb, but he would transform into a lion. And I said, there's no more lamb stuff. And they misinterpret, they misunderstood me, misunderstand this message. I keep telling them it's war, it's war, it's war. But they don't understand that. The F O Y, they reflect Elijah Muhammad. Now, these people had to go out in the snow, in the rain, and deal with people. And they get in fights with these lost files out there. I mean, I got in fights with lost files out there. Man, don't say that. Don't give me that. Put that shit in my face. You see, boom. All right, somebody get their ass kicked. Because we didn't put up no baths like that. Oh, brother, okay, that's no. No, ain't no brother, okay. What you say? Bam, that's your ass. So you don't come across, you don't come that way. So FYI, let everybody know you don't come with no BS. You don't disrespect. You might not like Elijah Muhammad, but you don't respect his message. You don't disrespect it. And I got a lot of fights out there with selling the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. See? Because it was a war. And if everybody knew what the message was and they saw FOI, they knew what the deal was. See? But now, here we are. And the war is intensified. And the whole world is focusing on us to destroy us. And there's no warriors to stand up to fight back. And you got a few people, well, I'm an injured warrior. No, you're not. Because now, look, back there they didn't have internet. They didn't have, only way they communicate is with the paper going out directly. See? But now we have internet. We can communicate with more people. See? You sit at home in your computer and you got the most powerful weapon in the universe, the angel. So you sit back in your computer and study the angel, right? And teach the people to explain the angel, go and explain the Bible, because they misunderstand the Bible. Clear the Bible up, go in there and show the verses, explain what they mean. You got the angel key, you got the most powerful weapon in the universe, and you sit around, you run the damn thing, and then you call yourself an angel warrior, and you can't even do one a week. And we was out there selling 300 papers a week. 24/7, all the things we was doing. And all you gotta do is sit there and study the angel, and you got all kinds of assistance, because I give it to you. I give you all kinds of knowledge and understanding of it, right? So all you gotta do is study the Bible and apply it to the angel key and teach our people, and that's all you gotta do, and make a presentation. That's all you gotta do, and you won't do it. But you call yourself a warrior? You ain't no warrior. You're fake. You couldn't stand up against the FOI. If these people now calling themselves warriors, if they ran to FOI, Elijah Muhammad's FOI, they get their ass kicked. Period. It would be ifs, ands, or buts about it. They had their ass wiped. They wipe the ground with their asses. Period. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I was FOI. I got the uniform. I was FOI, and anybody that knows me know I was a solid FOI. Period. Solid. I did all my duties. In addition to being a foreman at night shift, I worked the night shift from like 12 to 6 o'clock in the morning, 12 to, I mean it was 10 to 12, 6, something like that. 8 hours. Then foreman at night, and that was hard work, because we produced the paper. Then I had to sell during the day, and I was still married. And I still had to go to every meeting and do security. We didn't take any breaks because we were at war. We had time for breaks and selfies and celebrations. Yes, it's your anniversary. It's our anniversary. It's our anniversary. Really? Had time. We didn't have time for NBA and NFL. So you hear Farrakhan say, "Oh man, this one." They talk about sport. Like how much that sports to play? We ain't got time for that. See. That was the FOI then. And this client, those over there calls up FOI now, they ain't FOI. I don't know what they are. They may be fools or idiots. Maybe that's what FOI stand for. For them, fools or idiots following Farrakhan. Because they ain't know FOI. You couldn't get them clowns to do anything. If he tries to push them, they're going to flee from him like... See? And I'm not going to have anybody walk around talking about they're an angel warrior and they 24/7. You can't get out there and study the scripture with all this help you got, all these videos out there, all these presentations out there, and you've been told, explain the key, and given the details behind the key works, and you can't go out there and study that every day and produce a presentation on a daily basis, at least 5 a week, and you can't do that, and you're going to call yourself angel warrior? No, you're not. If you're not doing that, and no, ain't no excuses. Oh man, I couldn't do before this week. No, you're not an angel warrior. Don't call yourself that, because I will denounce you. See, we're at war. When you're on the battlefield, nobody's saying, please, would you please shoot that guy? Would you please shoot a gun over here? Would you please go over here? Get your ass over there. Move there. See, because you're at war. But you don't understand we're at war. You don't believe it. See? Because you look around and say, well, there ain't a whole lot of soldiers on the ground with me. So you ain't enthusiastic. See? And that's a trial for you, because Allah always sent one. He sent only one warrior in, one. See? With a powerful message, because greater pressure always destroys lower pressure. I don't care how much lower pressure it is. Because see, he understands science, he understands mathematics. So you don't need to send but one in. So you look, I only see one. Well, every time you go and study history, every time there's a prophet and messenger, how many came? Did Allah send a whole army? He sent one. Just one. He sent one person after Goliath, David. Destroyed a whole Goliath army. He said, Prophet Jesus, he brought down the Roman Empire. He brought Prophet Muhammad. See, he took over all of Arabia. See, he sent Elijah Muhammad. He put fear in America. He turned America around. He changed the whole landscape of America. You don't even understand even what Elijah Muhammad did, because they hide it. The way that America is right now, and the trouble in right now, is because of Elijah, because of the adjustments they made to try to hide the truth that Elijah Muhammad was telling. And it says in the end, God would send his son, because that's how terrible it was. He would send his son himself, just one. And it doesn't matter if you're with me or not. I didn't ask it. You never heard me one time ask anybody to be with me. There's a reason for that. Because I know what I got. I know I will prevail. I'm that little stone that's going to crush all the nations. But if you're with me, you got to be with me. Or don't be go out there talking about I'm an angel warrior, because you're not. You can go out there and say, well, I believe in him, and I respect what he says, right? So you want to make presentations like that? I believe him. I believe in him. I believe what he says. But don't call yourself no angel warrior, because you ain't. Because we don't want people to think that's what angel warrior is. Because you ain't an angel warrior. Because no people can look at you and say, we're at war. Nobody can look at you and they don't see war when they look at you. They don't see war. They don't see a soldier. They see somebody out there just running their mouth. And that reflects back on me. And they might like me. They might call it clown like he went in funny hat. I don't. They talk all that stuff they want to. You understand? They said the same thing about Elijah. Although he went in that funny hat, right? See? But he had a powerful message. And he prevailed. He did a job for 40 years. That's why Farrakhan is not respected. Because the people that's with him, he might have 10,000 people with him or whatever. They ain't doing a damn thing, and nobody respects them. They're thieves and lies and crooks over there anyway. And Muslim agents and everything else. And they don't see nothing impressive. But the point is, he's a demon anyway. See? So I want you to understand. See, we don't pimp sisters over here. He pimped the sisters. It's sad. We don't do that. If a sister wants to No, we no. If we was back in like how much time, we didn't have no sisters that just sold the papers. No, but we did. But there were sisters that did it. I mean, they used to take it and I think some sisters were taking they try to build back to mail out to people, right? Their friends and stuff, their subscribers, like some stuff like that. But nobody, they wasn't required to do it. See, they wanted to do it. That was on them. They didn't stop them doing it. Most sisters wasn't doing it. I think there was a few sisters that wanted to go out there and push the program, so they build up a subscriber list, and all they got to do is get the paper and just mail them out. Because whatever they was doing, the job, whatever they was doing, right, allowed them to meet people. So they took advantage of that. And that was very few that I know about that was even doing anything like that. See, I mean, they would get jobs with the nation and stuff like that. See, but none was required to get on the battlefield because we protect our sisters. See, we get on the battlefield and we dare any enemy to defeat us. You understand? Because they're not getting to our women. And we should be out here avenging our women right now. And we had to get out with guns and knives and forks. You understand? Because we got the most powerful weapon in the universe, the angel. Because the light destroys darkness. Greater pressure destroys lower pressure. We got the truth. And you ain't using it. So I'm putting everybody on notice. See, those who are claiming they're with me and those in the background. Because I know there's a lot of people in the background. See? Some call themselves they're waiting to see how this war breaks out. They don't want to step forward. Whatever. See. But if nobody's listening, it doesn't matter. As long as they got ears out there, I'm gonna keep talking. Now if there's no one that exists on earth but me, then there's no point in it. See? Sick or no sick. Only time I could not communicate when I was in the hospital. Because I couldn't have my computer there. So I used to just send messages, post messages. See? Well, actually, before I went to the hospital, because I was totally just devastated for, which I believe was nicotine poisoning. That's the message I got. For about 3 weeks, I could not move. I could not move. Could not do anything. I couldn't eat. Didn't eat. Lost a lot of weight. Okay. That's the only way you're going to stop me. And they tried. They shot their best shot. And they missed. See? But it grazed me. They wounded me. But they missed the heart. So when I say missed, I should back off on that one. They hit me. They just didn't take me out. See, they wounded me, really bad. Never been in that situation before. I knew it was a time to be attacked, but I wasn't expecting that. That's my error because I wasn't studying. I should study that, but I wasn't studying. I wasn't studying how I impact. I wasn't studying the mathematics of myself. I was primarily focused on getting this message out to the people. Especially, I was totally focused on the abomination of desolation. See, that's why I said my message will be totally about the abomination of desolation. And it is. So I'm back now, and I'm trying to pick up, catch up, 24/7. So if you represent this message, you better represent it. You see? See, I even hate to make criteria. Only reason I'm making criteria right now, because when you make criteria, it's almost like pushing. And I'm not pushing, I'm not making anybody do anything. But I gotta set a criteria. See, because I'm thinking I'm dealing with gods. Because when you're dealing with God, you don't have to give any criteria. Because look, if the house is on fire, you know it's on fire, you have to tell people, hey, the house is on fire. You have to tell people to get the hell out, get up out the bed, and you don't have to tell them that if they realize the house is on fire. But if you have to tell them that, That means something's wrong. That means they don't believe the house on fire. Oh man, okay, I'll be out in a minute, man. I'm finished watching it. See if this guy make a touchdown. He don't believe the house on fire. He don't believe it. See, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you, man. I'll be down in a minute. So that watch, see, he don't believe the house on fire. There's all kinds of ways to recognize things. If people realize we're at war and this whole thing's about to blow up, they will show up by their actions. What they say, action speaks louder than words. There's all kinds of ways to recognize them. It says on elevated places, right, in the Quran, they know all by their marks. Read it. The elevated places, that's the chapter. It says they know all by their marks. So if they talk about them, the Suleiman, he says he's wiser than all of them. He must know everybody by their marks. There's all kinds of ways I can identify people. I'm not going to tell you. There's all kinds of ways to search out the hearts of people. I'm not going to tell you, because then you figure out ways to cover it up. It's like I shake the tree every now and then. The good fruit will never fall off that tree, no matter how hard you shake it. See, I shake that tree hard. See, you can talk about your mama, your daddy, right, and your grandma and everybody else, and you ain't going. They're not going to let go of that tree. Just like you build an ark and they believe this flood's coming. You can't pry their hands off that ark. You do everything you want. They ain't getting off that ark because they know the consequences of it. Because they believe it. So they help them build the ark, and they ain't getting, and you can't get them off of there no kind of way. There's no way you couldn't do it. It's impossible. You'd have to kill them. See? And it said Suleiman would shake that tree hard because he would purify them. He wanted pure gold. So he would shake that tree hard. You better read the scriptures what to expect. That's why they keep asking who would be able to stand. And no one's able to stand. No one's been able to stand. All kinds of excuses. See? So you can do whatever you want to do. I'm not, in other words, I probably use the wrong word because I'm definitely not pushing anybody. I'm just saying, if you want to claim to be standing with me, then you better be standing with me. You better be producing. You better be producing at least one presentation a day. And it better be no BS about current events and all that kind of, you want to do videos about that? Fine. See, but it be about the angel. Break it down the Bible. Explain about people what the Bible really is saying. Go in there and study the angel key and go in there and study the Bible and put, and break down these verses. Because you got the angel key, you got the key to do it. And explain to people. And it better be right. If you can't do that, don't yourself an angel warrior. Because angel is about scripture. And that's what you're supposed to be teaching if you're an angel warrior. So if you want to make presentations about the current events and all other kind of stuff, then that's fine. That has nothing to do, because like I said, if you want to go out and sell extra papers, you're required to sell 300. But if you want to go out and sell extra papers, that's fine. If you want to go out door to door and talk to people, that's fine. That's why I couldn't do that. But the bottom line is you had to sell 300 papers. The bottom line is that if you're an angel warrior and you can't do 5 presentations, at least 5 presentations, 1 presentation a day for 5 days, and explain to people what the angel is, break the Bible down for them so they understand it, what it really means. See, if you can't do that, then don't call yourself an angel warrior. Call yourself maybe a sympathizer, but you're not an angel warrior. See, because I got these people, I've dealt with all kinds over the years. See, someone play games, like I said, I just, I just don't have time with them. I just, just ignore them. If they persist, right? In the age of the internet, I just block them. Because I don't have time for it. The message is clear. See, so either they're agents, distractors, whatever they are, I don't have time for it. I'm not going to waste time with that. And I'm totally content with, I've been walking alone for 30 years. You think I'm going to sit around here, oh man, I ain't got no followers. I never asked for any followers. Do you see me ask for followers? Do you see me ask for donations? Do you see me ask for any damn thing? Do you see me crying about I ain't got no followers? I don't want followers. That's the last thing I want. I'm here to raise gods. And you don't have to tell gods what to do. So I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what not to do. Don't go out there saying you're angel warrior and misrepresent. I told everybody in the very beginning, if you want to be an angel warrior, do not go out and misrepresent this message. And if you go out there and you go out there with your BS and you got time for playing games and you call yourself an angel warrior, you misrepresent this message. Because you should put all in like I am. I'm setting an example. And I told you from the very beginning, I told everybody, you do not misrepresent this message. So don't go out and call yourself angel warrior and you're going to picnics and celebrations and anniversaries and all that kind of crap and selfies. I don't want to hear it. Because you misrepresent this message. Because that is not about war, what you're doing. See, we are here, they fight us 24/7. 365, they shoot all this ignorance. The world is full of darkness, and they're not stopping. If you go out in the street, all you're going to hear, if you talk to people, all you hear is bullshit. You can hear no truth anywhere. See, that's their weapons. And how are you countering it? Are you hitting it back with the truth? When you talk to your friends and they talk their BS, are you hitting them back with the truth? Because if you did, you wouldn't be friends with them anymore. Because if you stood up and stood the angel, see, the point is, if you friends with people that ain't with the angel, then you ain't with the angel. Because you would be friends with them more. Because if you start teaching, telling the angel, they would not be around you because they get angry. See? So that's the only reason why you're still friends with them, because you're compromising. See, because you're talking their bullshit. Because they ain't talking you, what you talking. Or they would be on over here. So you're talking what they're talking. See, don't bullshit me because you can't. So you got friends, I don't care your buddies, whoever with. If you with them and they ain't with this, then you are with them. Because you got to communicate, you got to talk their talk to be with them. Because if you talk communicating, you have to communicate what they want to talk about or what you want to talk about. And if you're worried and all you talk about what you want to talk about, they won't get away from you because they get tired. They want to hear it. So you're going along with what they're talking about. So you ain't no warrior. You ain't with this program. Or you wouldn't be bothered with them. I don't have any friend. Anybody that knows me, that's all they're going to hear from me. See? Anybody that knows me, when they meet me, right? See, some place I don't talk about this. Or I go to the gym, I don't talk about it. I don't get in a conversation with anybody about anything. See? I'm there to work out. See? But anybody talks to me, I have neighbors, right? They cut into me, they get it. And some of them don't talk to me no more. I don't care. Because I'm not going to talk when they talk. Hey, brother, how's it going? I don't watch the game. I don't have time for that. Oh, man, what you mean you don't have time? I don't have time for it. See, also, I lost them. But they want to talk about the game. I don't hear about no damn game. I ain't interested. What do you do for entertainment, brother? I don't. Because we're at war. I ain't got time for no damn entertainment. My entertainment comes after I win the war. The promised land is after the war is over. That's how you get there. What's between us and the promised land? War. So if you're not ready to battle, then you ain't going to make it. See, that's the issue. So if you're talking to angel, you ain't going to have people around you that ain't talking to angel. Because I don't have anybody around me that's not talking to angel. I don't waste time with them. That's all I want to talk about. Oh man, so you okay? Well, bye. I'm not talking your game. So if you still got friends around you that ain't talking to angel, and it's the angel, then you with them. Because they ain't with me. They said if you're not with me, you're against me. So if you with them, because you got to be talking what they talking, otherwise they continue to be their friend. That's basic logic. That's basic mathematics. You got to be talking other than the angel to continue to be their friend. That means you're not a warrior. Because if you're a warrior, you be talking angel 24/7, no matter where you go, who you talk to. So don't call yourself an angel warrior. You got friends, right? That ain't. See, I ain't talking about family members. I'm not trying to break anybody's family members, right? But really, it applies to that too, because I lost all my family. Because all I want to talk about is angel. See, and they think I should. I should be family oriented, going to family reunions, all that kind of stuff. No. So I'm like an outcast. See, because I don't know how to be a father. See, because I got to go along with this Bill Cosby bullshit. See, I tell him I'm at war. I'm trying to save your life. See, but so in other words, I'm an outcast because I'm not being what they think Bill Cosby bullshit. See, you pay a price. My whole family don't communicate because every time they try to communicate with me, all they're gonna get is the angel, and they don't want to hear it, so they don't talk to me anymore. Oh man, Well, that's what angel warrior is. And if you're not representing that, you're not representing me. Now I made it clear. I made it plain. See, if you can't deal with it, then leave it alone. Go out there and do your own thing. So you want to go out and say, hey man, that brother, he sounds interesting, and all kind of stuff. But don't call yourself an angel warrior. See? And don't say you're standing with me. And please don't say you representing me, because you ain't. Because you would be standing doing what you see me doing. That's it, brothers and sisters. I'm just telling you. See, you think this is a game. You think this is a play game, a video game or something. Brothers and sisters, you have no idea. Elijah Muhammad warned the people during theology time. He told his brother, I told you his story. The brother stood up because Elijah Muhammad did Q&A, something these clowns would never do. And the brother jumped up, young fiery brother, FOI. Well, he was fired up. He was about my age too. He's a young brother. Most people was older than me because I was early. I came in at 20, 21. So I was young. Most FOI was older than me. See, but he was about my age, maybe a little older. Because I don't think I met any FOI that was actually younger than me. Because it was pretty. The average I think was probably maybe around the 30s or something. In Chicago. And in Newark, where I grew up at, when I first came in there, I guess because a lot of the brothers I had grew up with, right? So they was probably my age. Right? But in Chicago, most of the people was older. But this young brother jumped up, dear Holy Apostle. He was excited. I'd be so glad, man, when we take these people down, man, and we get, and Master said, so brother, stop. Do not pray for that day. Do not pray for that day because you do not know what you're up against. And everybody said, it's chopped. Because everybody went, man, I'm glad when we get ready to take these devils down, we actually, when we go head to head, they was looking for it. He said, Elijah Muhammad said, don't wait for that day. Because we in that day right now. And look, you see any words around? You see anybody ready to fight? You see how people ready to stand up? No, you don't. See, Elijah Muhammad knew what he was talking about. And here you got Suleiman here, standing tall, 73 years old, and going at it over 30 years, 24/7, 365, with the most powerful weapon in the universe, and no one standing with him. That's how powerful this devil is, and Satan. See, because they shut everything down. See, these demons, oh man, these demons. See, they put your lights out. They put all the light out of Elijah, except that with Suleiman. They couldn't put that light out that he took. The light he held on was firm grip. They couldn't take that light out. Because it says it in chapter 12. It says when that child was born, just before Elijah departed, it says the dragon stood by to devour him as soon as he was born. That means as soon as Elijah Muhammad departed, the dragon would take and devour him. That means Sunni. They tried to convert him to Sunnism. Right? As soon as he was born, as soon as Elijah Muhammad departed, they came and tried to convert him and all the people with him into Sunnism. They tried, but they couldn't get him. They got the rest of them. They couldn't get him. So he was snatched up to the throne, up to Farad. He stuck with Farad. See, but the dragon got them. See, they got them. Sunnism got them. Didn't get me. I'm telling you, I did not spend one day with Wallace. I never went to any of his prayers or none of that crap. Now I did years later after Wallace was gone, when I was up in Tallahassee, right? I went to a couple of his meetings, right? But they didn't do any prayer, nothing like that. I went to a couple of his meetings, right? To see what was going on up in Tallahassee. See? And everything I knew, because I wanted to confirm. I heard some rumors. I wanted to confirm. Because, and exactly what they said. When you went there, in the back, see? And I believe they had brother and sister sitting together, I'm not sure. But it still was Sunnism, because the Imam, right? He was teaching Sunnism. This is Wallace's thing. I think Wallace was dead at the time. And in the back was Saudi Arabia. I mean, they wasn't hiding. There was people from Saudi Arabia, and they was like ordering the presentation to make sure he said towards Sunnism, because they was receiving money from Saudi Arabia, and that's what it was. And you got these black folks sitting there. They understand they betrayed by these damn Saudis, and Saudis sitting back to make sure they're indoctrinated, make sure they get the information. That's the dragon. He's devouring them to make sure they say they get what they want them to know. They're not talking about the Abrahamic covenant and stuff. They were sitting back there ordering. Because I heard something like that. I don't like just go by stuff I heard. So I went and checked. And that's exactly what was going on. Exactly what was going on. See, I can't remember. It's been a while, maybe for 15 years now. It's been a while. Right? That was before, my Guam experience. Right? See, and this wasn't Farrakhan stuff. This is Wallace stuff. This is Belalian stuff. Like I said, they had the Imam, right? And they had the people. The brother and sister might have been separated. I don't remember. They probably was, right? But I know they didn't do it in prayer service, right? Now I'm not saying I've been to Sunni mosque. I prayed with them. See, I went to see what they was talking about too. I did that too when I was in Tallahassee. See, because I was looking around. See, I wanted to make sure I understood my enemy. So I went to the mosque, mosque 3 times, and Wallace's mosque did. So I think it was about a period of time. This was before the Jonah thing, right? So there was a period of time, about a year or so, when I was going around checking all the stuff. I was checking out the Belalians, Wallace stuff. I was checking out Farrakhan stuff. I went and checked out the Sunni stuff. Even went to a church a couple of times to see what everybody was talking about. Understand where everybody's at, where everybody's mind is. So it's about a year. I think about a year. I went through that process. Maybe. I think it was about a year. Right. So I know what I'm talking about when I talk about these people. See. But I spent one day with Wallace. When he took over, I spent 1 second with that clown. Didn't go to any of his masjid, or none of that stuff. And I knew Wallace. I knew Wallace before when Elijah Muhammad was around. He used to come out to the temple and teach. He started out teaching Elijah Muhammad, and then next thing you know, he's teaching Sunnism. I shook the man's hand. I knew him. See? I knew Elijah Muhammad. I never shook his hand. I knew him. I got a letter from him once. I ain't never told anybody the content of that letter, but I did get a letter from him once. Very interesting letter. So he was aware of my existence. And then I got another confirmation because Minister Yusuf Shah came specially. I never known him to do that. He came specially to the Muhammad Speak newspaper on my shift. See, actually he came in the morning after the shift was nearly over. He didn't come in and do a nighttime. It might have been, I don't think so. I think it was in the morning because my shift was from midnight to the morning. So I think that's when he came, but I'm not sure. It's been so long ago, man. It's been like 40 some years ago. Yeah, I can't. My memories. I never had I had a memory for the Bible, but for events and things in my life, I don't remember stuff like that. I don't have the memory for it, but I do have a memory for Scripture. Somehow my mind and all that stuff, I can remember. Like I don't forget it. No. Well, anyway, so he came and told me. He says the messenger said, "Brother, you're doing a good job." So I had another confirmation that the messenger was aware of me. I said he did send me a letter. I never talked to him personally. But my wife did. My wife at that time, poor soul. I ain't gonna say a poor soul because she was a warrior. If she was a man, she would have been, she'd been a 600 paper person. See? She's a warrior. See? But she ran Elijah Muhammad's MGT dress shop. And Elijah Muhammad used to come in and she talked to him. But that was the time of her life. She was so proud of that. You know. So she met the messenger, she talked to him, he knew her. Her name was Anissa. She passed away about a year ago. Broke my heart. We wasn't married anymore. See? Because she couldn't have any children. So we parted. We didn't really part, right? I always looked after her, but we wasn't married anymore. I always looked after her. I told her I would always be there, but I would give her back. And so every time we moved someplace, she'd move nearby. And since she didn't have any children, then she became a nanny to my children. And my children loved her, and she loved my children. Nobody had a problem with it, right? So instead of putting the children in child care, all that kind of stuff, Anissa would take care of them. So they was like her nanny. Someone looked like her, like she was their grandmother or something. So it broke everybody's heart when she passed away. It sure broke my heart. See? And so when I think about it, maybe it would have been best I stayed with her, because my children now, man, like, I don't have any. They don't have anything to do with me. See? Because I'm not a father, because I'm not focused on their welfare. I'm focused on the angel. That's the price you have to pay, brothers and sisters. If you're a warrior, you're out here fighting for people that don't give a damn about you. I'm out here fighting for their lives and their future. See? But they're wrapped up in this world now. And that's probably some of them because they're demon mother. I told you I was, after Anissa, I was married to a demon. Whew. She produced a few children and she poisoned all of them. And finally, she walked away, and that's good. And then I, with my wife now, and I've been with her for many years, and we're doing fine. She's not a demon. So I've had my experience with demons. I had my experience with everything. I don't think there's anything in this life that I haven't had experience at. And you have to have that to have wisdom so you can talk to other people. How can somebody give you instruction on something they don't know anything about, they haven't experienced themselves? So that's one of the things that Suleiman, right? See, he would experience just about everything. So he suffered because of sins of this world. See, anyway, brothers and sisters, I talked enough about this. Well, I talked quite a bit about it, but I want you to understand what we're talking about here, brothers and sisters. This is not a game. It's wartime. It's not just a word. And if you ain't down with it, instead get the hell out the way. But do not, and I repeat, do not go out there and call yourself an angel warrior representing me if you're not representing me. And to represent me, you got to be just like the 144,000, right? Following my example. And the criteria I hate to even have to set up a criteria. I mean, why should I have to do that? We're talking about gods. I shouldn't have to tell you. Once you understood this message, you should be out there 24/7 with your sword, with your angel, slaying demons. So why gotta set up a criteria? If you're a God, I don't even want to do that. I mean, I'm really, it's a, you don't understand how this goes totally against my nature. It's either that or just block you altogether. And that's my first choice, just to block everybody. Because I don't want to be bothered with all this BS. I ain't got time for it. I got here to get this message out. I told you I don't really have time to be arguing with people and going to people's personal stuff and all that. I don't want to have time for that. I keep telling you, I do not have time for it. I don't be bothered with it. I've been bothered with it for 30, like I said, I've been bothered with it for 30 some years because people come in and then trying to get me involved in all the personal stuff and all. And I don't have time for it. See? But I gotta set a criteria because you out there calling yourself a representative of me and you ain't representing me. So people look at you and says, oh, and he must be like that. Because they look at the fruit and they say, man, the fruit is sour, the tree must be sour. Oh, he out there talking about the war, he out there partying, celebrating. What kind of war is that? You ain't serious. That means the person that's feeding you ain't serious either. And I ain't like that. You don't see me doing that. You don't see me getting involved in any of that kind of stuff. Only thing you see me is pushing the angel, period. That's the only thing you see. You don't see me taking any vacations or anything else. So that's the criteria. If you ain't, and like I said, you had to go out 24/7 pushing Muhammad Speak newspaper 300 a week, and is that an easy task? So if you ain't out here and you can't go and study the angel and teach the angel a presentation at least once a day, breaking down the angel so people understand it, because what you're doing is you countering because they're on the Bible, they're on the sealed Bible level. They're in darkness. So you want to open their eyes. You want to teach them what the Bible really is saying. And that's if you ain't out there doing that at least once a day, for at least 5 days, you should be doing it 7 days. But at least 5 days, then you're not an angel warrior and do not call yourself angel warrior. Don't come and tell me, oh, I only did it 4 days this week. No, if you're not doing it 5 days, you're not angel warrior. 5 days every day, forever, until the war is over. And when the war actually starts, you're going to have to do quite more than that. But if you ain't doing that, do not call yourself angel warrior. Stop doing it. Stop saying you're representing me, because you're not. Once a week, from Monday through Friday, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday, not current events. No. Breaking down the angel, breaking down the verses of the sealed Bible, unsealing it with the angel key, explaining to people what it means so they understand what the Bible really saying, because they have a wrong idea about the Bible. So that means you're sending vectors, you're sending the truth against falsehood. Tell what the Bible really saying. Teach them about Abrahamic covenant. Show them how this me. Go and explain to them how the angel works. Break down this verse in the Bible, explain what they really mean. So if you're not doing that, then do not call yourself angel warrior. That's the criteria, and there's no exceptions. There's no leeway on that one. Once a day, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. If you're not doing that, no exceptions. Oh man, well I gotta take a vacation. Well, then you're not an angel warrior anymore, because we don't have time for vacations. That's it, brothers and sisters. So if that's the qualification. So anybody that can't qualify, then step back. And anybody that thinks they want to be that, right? Then that's what qualification to call yourself angel warrior. The 144,000, they will meet that qualification easy. They will go way beyond that. They would go way beyond what the FOI was doing. It tells you that. It says they would do greater deeds than Elijah Muhammad did. Greater. So there'd be greater deeds than Elijah Muhammad did. Can you imagine that? And these people here, they can't even with this 5 a day, you still couldn't stamp to what the FOI was doing. So that's the minimum. Five a week. That's the minimum. That's the criteria, the baseline. See, now I'm talking about no 5 or 10 minute little presentation. That's the baseline, brothers and sisters. You don't have to do it. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm not forcing you to do it. I'm just telling you, if you want to call yourself an angel warrior, that's what it's going to take. That's the qualification. If you're not doing that, then you're not an angel warrior. You call yourself whatever you want to call yourself, but you're not representing me. Do not associate me with it. Because if people look at me, they see me because they say, if the fruit is bad, the tree is bad. If you're lazy or you don't want to do anything or whatever, they attribute that back to me, and that's not me. Because you're supposed to be a reflection of me. I'm not saying a follower, reflection. I'm supposed to be a reflection of Master Prophet Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad. And you see me on my post, and I've been on my post. And I don't let anything distract me, my family, and no one else. Now, if I stop doing this and stop being lovey-dovey, bothering, going out vacation stuff, my whole family be with me. They'd be with me in a heartbeat. Because that's what they want. But I'm here for my people. And maybe my family will come along. I don't know, because if you read the story of Job, it says my whole family is burned up. And when the 4 winds come, read Job. It says that they totally was against their father Job. I'm Job, right? And Job suffered. Remember, Job suffered everything. He was tested. Remember, Jesus was tested by Satan. Job was tested. In every kind of way, suffered everything. Who do you think they're talking about in Job? You really read that. But he would not turn away. No matter what, he lost his family, lost everything. But he would not turn away from Master Prophet Muhammad. His wife even told him, why don't you just curse him and forget it, man? You suffer so much. You're going through all this for what? Just curse him and forget it and die. See, you have no idea what I'm going through, brother and sister. You have no idea the stuff I'm going through. Because I don't go out here and talk about it because that just makes you weak. You have no idea the stuff I'm going through. The stuff I've suffered. You have no idea. I don't talk about it. Because I ain't got time to talk about it. I'm not regretting it because I'm a warrior. I don't talk about, oh man, I had this wound, man, and I got that wound, and I went down here, man, and that happened, and you have no idea. It says looked like he was slain from the foundation of the earth. You have no idea what that means, brother and sister. I don't talk about it because I got too much, I don't have time for it. But it says, the scripture says, once we get to paradise, and the people find out what Suleiman actually went through, it said they would weep for days. They would weep uncontrollably. Because they had no idea what he was going through to get them home. The sacrifice he made to get them home. That's what it says. I'm not going to talk about it. And you can't even go out there and do a video a week, a day. You don't have to sell papers. See? So you want me to go out here and start crying and tell you, oh man, this happened to me, that happened to me. No, you're never going to get that out of me. Because I don't cry about things that happen to me. I don't worry about it. Oh, woe is me. You didn't see Job doing that? Oh man, I suffer so much. No. Because it's good suffering. Because that's what it takes to get my people home. Then I'll suffer it over and over again. I'm not saying I like suffering, because I don't. You understand? So, the story of Job, it says, the oldest son, instead of listening to Job, they listened to the oldest son. So the whole family was in the oldest son's house, rejoicing, partying. See, instead of listening to Job, it said the 4 winds came, the winds came and blew, the 4 winds came and destroyed all of them. So even tell you the time when you understand the angel says, when the 4 winds blow, see, they didn't flee. They was partying. Instead of fleeing, they was partying. They got all destroyed. That's what it says. I hope that doesn't happen. But that's what happened to his children. So Job was given new children. He said he gave new daughters. He said the most beautiful daughters in the land. But he said all his daughters and everything, they was at this, because they was listening to the oldest son, which is an idiot, right? They listened to him and said when the four winds blow, because he said it blew against the four corners of the house. That means there's four winds, and destroyed all of them. See? So when understand the angel, when understand that when the four winds blow, that's when you're supposed to flee. You're supposed to be fleeing. So obviously they didn't flee because they didn't believe. They were trying to spite their father. Man, I ain't listening to him. I ain't fleeing nothing. They got all wiped out. All of them. See? And you talking about what? I know we're at war. And I'm making the sacrifices. I'm out here fighting the enemy 24/7. And don't think they don't come at me. They come at me all kinds of ways that I'm not talking to you about. Like this, like I said, this dude tried to set me in the hospital. You take this procedure. He tried to talk me into it. He's proclaimed me a Muslim from Pakistan, doctor. And then he got around to the risk. Well, if something goes wrong, they say it's rare. I don't hear about this rare. It ain't rare to the person it happens to. If something happens, man, you could lose your leg. You have liver failure. See, or you can even die. I said, when the hell would I want to do this procedure if that's the risk? I said, no. Well, I said, what if I don't do it? What happens? Well, that means that you're possibly your leg will stay swollen for the rest of your life, and you'll be in extreme pain. So he's trying to scare me up. Well, I said, well, I'll take that risk then. I'm not going to take that risk. And I didn't know it at the time. My leg was already going down. When I got back upstairs, right, because they take me downstairs to see this guy, right? When I got back upstairs, they rolled me back upstairs, and my leg was going down by itself. So that was a lie right there. Because he told me my leg will stay swollen, it's already going down because of that blood thinner they was giving me. See? So what was he supposed going to do? He was trying to, was that them coming after me again to finish me off? See? Either kill me or maim me, liver failure, one leg cut off. You don't think they come at me, bro? They come at me 24/7 all the time. I'm always, people walk at me out of nowhere. I'm in the gym on the treadmill. This white dude coming, hey man, how you doing? Man, I've been noticing you, man. Noticing me? I don't know you. Why you want to have a conversation with me? And I ain't never seen him from anywhere. You see? All of a sudden he pops up at the gym and he wants to talk to me. Why you want to talk to me? I asked him why you want to talk to me. I brushed him off real fast, especially a devil. See? They come at me all kinds of ways. Like I said, according to the message I got, when I called out to Farad, it was nicotine poisoning. That means somebody was trying to poison me. How they did it, or who's doing it, I have some ideas. But you're not home, they get in your house, they come in and do things in your house when you're not there. But damn near killed me. And doctors could not find out what was causing the problem. All they knew is they couldn't figure it out. They never came up with an answer. They did 1,000 tests, and no one come and say this will cause what happened to you. So only cause I got was what I got from Farad. I believe I got from Farad. He put it in my mind because I wouldn't came with that on my own, and it saved my life because I immediately reacted. So I'll leave it like that. See, because we're at war, and you're not. Because if you was at war, you would act like you was at war. See, and the soldiers at war, they're the ones that reap the benefit. What do they call it? The booty, the bounty or whatever. The booty. I ain't talking about booty. I'm talking about, they go out and say B-O-T-T-Y. Maybe that's the way it's spelled anyway. But it means, the spoils of the war. In other words, after they defeat the enemy, everything the enemy had is theirs now. But we don't want it. We're going to convert all that energy of this reality into a new reality. We don't want any, like Muhammad said, we don't want any of this stuff. We don't want their cars. We don't want their TV. We don't want their video games. We don't want any of that. Because we got our own reality, which is greater than that. And why you want games and TV and all that kind of stuff when you can live the life of what you see on the TV? So you see all the adventure, but what if you live in that adventure? Because in the paradise, you will live that adventure, so you don't be watching TV, watch somebody else doing it. You're going to live that adventure. You're going to go all the planets. All the planets are available to you, right? You're going to be going all the places. You're going to be 24/7 with your family. See? No more of this stuff. You going to work and your family leaves behind. None of that kind of stuff anymore. See? You're going to live the life that you want to live. See? All this energy that you're about to get, you're going to be totally energized. See, you never had the energy you're about to receive. You didn't have the energy when you was a child. You have so much energy you don't even know what to do with it. You're not even want to sleep. You won't sleep. You don't want to. You won't have the desire to sleep. You'll be so energetic. You'll be doing so many things. See? So you'll be living that adventure. So why you want to sit there and watch it on TV? Somebody else doing it. It's a whole new world, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand. But back to the main message. If you ain't representing this, me, as you see me, you out there BS, do not call yourself an angel warrior. You can call yourself whatever you want to, but don't associate it with me. So if you're not doing one presentation a day, breaking down the angel and the angel, because I don't want to know about your current events making up something. See, you got the weapon, use it. The angel key, that's your weapon. See, if you ain't using that and you ain't producing one presentation a day, not 3.5 a week, not 4.5 a week, 5 a week, Monday through Friday. If you're not doing that, you're not an angel warrior. So do not associate yourself with this. You can be whatever you want to be, but do not associate yourself with me. Do not claim you're representing me, because you're not. And if you do it, I'm going to shut you down. Okay. Oh man, he's cool. Brother, you you think when you meet Master Muhammad and you think, I'm cold? Did you ever listen to what Elijah Muhammad said about Master Muhammad? He wasn't no lamb with Elijah Muhammad. He was hard on Elijah Muhammad. He would get angry at Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad said he would get angry with him on a lot of occasions. You have no idea. You see like Master Muhammad, do you think he's like a little pushover? No. You think I'm tough? Where'd you meet him? Because if you want to be the best, you got to have the best coach. Your coach got to be tough. See, if your coach is a wimp, you're going to be a wimp. I don't know how to explain this to you, bro. I mean, I explain, but I know you're not going to get it. Because I said, I'm going to walk alone. I'm going to continue to walk alone because scientists saw it. So only thing this kind of conversation does is knock off the bad fruit from the tree. That's all it does. See? And so far, right, this tree doesn't have much fruit because I'm constantly shaking off the bad fruit. And I will shake that tree hard. See, Farrakhan doesn't shake his tree because he wants to show, look all this fruit I got. See? But if you taste that fruit, man, it's sour, it's bad, it's bitter. See, but he says, look, man, look all this fruit I'm producing. Bitter fruit. And I tell you, hey, it ain't no fruit on the tree. Right? Because I'm not going to produce any fruit that's not 100%. So if I'm not going to produce, I'd rather be no fruit on the tree than bad fruit. So you got Farrakhan over there, he got plenty of fruit on this tree, but it's all bitter, just like him. See? So my tree has very little fruit on it, maybe no fruit after this. See, but it won't be bitter fruit. Because it said this tree going to produce 144,000 fruit in a minute. And it says it's going to all be real precious fruit. It's going to be sweet fruit, right? See, it's not going to be bitter. And so it's well way, because you know, a tree takes longer than a plant to grow. So for the good, pure, sweet fruit, it takes longer to produce than just bitter fruit. So it takes 30-some years to produce 144,000 perfect fruit. That's what it takes. See? Because by the time I finish shaking this tree, I don't think there's going to be any fruit left on it. And then 144,000 will come. All of a sudden, the tree is full of fruit. Sweet fruit. Fresh fruit. See? Healthy fruit. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. I'm going to leave it there. But again, if you're not representing me, that's the basic criteria, then don't be calling yourself a representative of me. I will shut you down. I hate to even have to set that criteria up. See, because we're talking about gods. But I can't have you misrepresent this message, right? Undermine this message. Because you out there call yourself representing this, and you out there partying, hanging out, and all this kind of stuff. And you ain't focused, but you're talking about, I'm an angel warrior. No, you're not. Oh, I'm an angel warrior, we at war. Okay, pass the beer. Let's go to Disneyland. No, that's not going to happen here, brothers and sisters. I've said it before. This is the last time I'm going to say it. I think I made it clear enough. I never said the criteria, but I'm saying it now. Because I hate to even have to do it. So, because that's going to shake the tree. I think that's going to shake the tree very strong. See, because I don't have anybody half-stepping around here. I don't do anything half-ass. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. I think I make it clear enough. Assalamu alaikum. Well, I think I mentioned this right here, right? Who is able to stand? Again, this is sixth seal. Who is able to stand? Why do they keep asking that? Why do they keep asking that? Who is able to stand? See, move myself out of the way here. Okay. Why do they keep on asking that? Who is able to stand? Right there at the bottom down here. Talking about the Lamb and Suleiman. I mean, the Lamb and Master Muhammad. Who is able to stand? See? Because it's what war. The great day, the wrath of the Lamb. See? From the face of the setting upon the throne, that's Master Muhammad, and from the wrath of the Lamb. We're at war. Who's able to stand in this battle? So far, it doesn't seem like anybody's able to stand. And the same thing over here again. The message of the covenant. See? And who will stand when he appears? Who can endure the day of his coming? So far, it doesn't seem like anyone. Because they don't understand. They're still locked in this world life. They understand. They still understand. We're at war. They don't get it. They just don't get it. Okay? They still don't get it. That's what I can tell you. See? Who can endure the day of his coming? Who can stand when he appears? See? So far, no one. Some, they claim they're doing some lure this, lure that, but they ain't ready for him. The world is not ready for me. They couldn't handle Elijah Muhammad. And they definitely can't handle this. He didn't have the angel. He didn't have this kind of power. He didn't have this weapon. And they couldn't deal with him. See? And if I have to do it alone, I'll do it alone. I've been doing it alone for 30 years. You see me crying. You see me weeping. You see me faltering? Yeah, you see me getting sick because I'm wearing myself out. Because I'm not stopping. I'm not slowing down. I'm 73 years old. I'm not slowing down. I burn myself up if I have to, getting this message across. I don't mean literally burning myself up, but I'm burning myself up, my body and everything. Because we're at war, brothers and sisters. I'm totally committed. See? I ain't asked for this. I sure didn't ask for it, but I got it. And I'm going to deal with it. And I'm going to complete my mission. See? But that's what you found a God that's not playing damn games. And I'm trying to get you prepared to meet your God. And you're not prepared to meet your God. You're not prepared to meet your God. You ain't prepared. You're not prepared for that. In your condition, you have to have a thorough knowledge of self. That's what I'm teaching you about the beginning of the creation all the way up to now. Because you have to know all of that to understand yourself, your history and everything. But you're not prepared to meet your God, brothers and sisters. You just ain't prepared for it. You're not prepared for it. Because you got to keep up with me, and you're not prepared for it. You just ain't prepared for it. I'm trying to teach you to prepare for it. You just don't have to worry about anything. I have to repeat that. But you brothers, you're not prepared to meet your God. You just ain't prepared for it. See? Because if you think I'm tough, move. You're not prepared for it. See? It's my job to prepare you to meet your God. And you ain't prepared for it. You're not prepared for it. You think you are, but you ain't. Assalamu alaikum.